So you are looking for a way to make your drums hit harder. I'm going to show you some things that I do personally to get my drums to hit harder. Let's go. What's up, people? Welcome to the channel where we talk about music licensing, music business, and music production. If you love any of the previously mentioned, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my latest content, and hit the bell icon so you'll know exactly when that content drops. So today I'm opening up Logic Pro 10, and I'm going to show you some of my tips and tricks on how I get my drums to sound a little bit beefier and less on the weaker side, right? We all want our drums to hit harder. We want those kicks to come through. We want those snares to smack, and I'm going to show you a few things that I do to make that happen. So without further ado, let's dig into it. Okay, so we have Logic Pro opened up. This is a beat that I created for TV and film, so it's gonna be like a background instrumental cue, right? So I'm just gonna play the hook. I'm not gonna play the whole track, just so you can hear where the drums are at right now, and then we'll go in and kind of beef them up a little bit. So this is what we have right now. Can't really feel the kick. Can't hear the 808 at all. So that's what we have. So let's beef this joint up. The first thing I'm gonna do is add I'm gonna add some smack attack to the snare. Now I use smack attack. This is from Waves. I'll have a link to Waves so you can get like a discount. I have an exclusive link that'll get you guys I think it's like 10% off of any Waves plugin you want to get. So that'll be in the description. But I use this smack attack like on everything. So I'm using it on my snare, and I use the preset what is it, OH enhancer, however you want to pronounce it, call it. That's the preset I use, and I always kind of start with presets because I mean they're already preset. Like, work smarter, not harder, right? And then if I need to make some tweaks or adjustments, then I'll do that from a preset that's as close to the sound that I'm looking for. So let's add this to the snare and see what that does. So that's with the smack attack. This is without. With. Okay, so not bad. You can kind of hear the difference with the snare smacking a little bit more. What I'm gonna do now is just go ahead and mute some of these sounds so we only hear the drums. Usually when I'm mixing on the low end and the drums, I mute everything else and I only want to hear the drums. So okay, so I'm liking how that sounds on the snare. Now I'm gonna add an additional instance of smack attack on my drum bus. So I have all my drums sent to like this bus track to where, you know, any plugin I put on this is going to apply to all of the drums as a whole, because they're all within this folder per se in Logic, which is just my drum bus pretty much. So I'm gonna add that, activate that, and then the preset that I use for this is drum loop friendly. I feel like it kind of it does a good job at just kind of shaping those transients all across the board. So from kick to snare and hi-hats and things like that, it's not just focused on like one frequency range or one type of transient. So this is what it sounds like with the smack attack on the drum bus track. This is without. It's with. So you can hear a little bit how it kind of beefed it up. But to take it a step further, I'm going to add another plug-in on this drum bus to really bring out the lows, the 808s, and the kick. And that's going to be this BX Console In plugin from Plugin Alliance, which is like, it's a super dope plugin. It emulates the Neve console. All right, so here I again am going to go with the preset and go with Beats Big. On this one, I tweaked this threshold a little bit, but I'm gonna just play it and see what it sounds like, just with the, you know, straight out of the box with this Beats Big plugin. Okay, so I'm gonna change this threshold. Okay, I like that a lot better. Okay, so that's with the plugin. This is without. So you can hear a major difference, especially in the low end, with this plugin applied to the whole drum bus. So yeah, so already we have a big difference in the drums and how they're hitting, just with the adding the smack attack on these two tracks, and then this BX console on the drum bus as well. But I'm not gonna stop there. Like, I got some more sauce I'm gonna add to this joint. So let me play this through. Okay, cool. I'll keep it there. So now the next thing I'm gonna do is add parallel compression, and pretty much what I'm gonna do is duplicate this drum bus. I'm gonna create another bus track, but then I'm gonna have the tracks routed pretty much to a duplicate bus, pretty much. So how I'm going to do that is, let's see here, I'm going to change this bus, create a bus 4. It should create a bus 4. Does it create a bus 4? I guess it doesn't create a bus 4. Okay, let me see. Let me just go to this track. Do I have a bus 4? No, I don't. Let me see. Okay, so there we go. So that creates a bus track. So we got this aux 4. I'm gonna name this Drums Crushed, because with this parallel compressed track, like, I'm gonna compress the life out of it. It's gonna sound super duper crushed. So I created a bus 4, but I'm gonna switch this up here in Logic Pro. You have the ability to switch the bus channel, and I'm gonna switch it to the same drum bus channel. So it's pretty much gonna duplicate, you know, all the instruments that are going into this this drum bus, and it's gonna pretty much duplicate the same thing. So as you can see, you know, I got two instances of this. If I solo this, you know, it's everything you're hearing minus the plugins that are on this bus 3 track, the original drum bus track. So with this one, I'm gonna add, and you can kind of add any compressor you want, just to pretty much crush this track. So let's go with Wave CLA3A. Another one of my favorite compressors, and I'm gonna just solo this so I can hear exactly what it's doing. Let's see. Yeah. Turn it up a little bit. So yeah, reduce those peaks all the way up. Again, just trying to crush it. You can use any plugin, just kind of experiment. But pretty much you want like a super duper crushed and compressed drum bus with this extra track. So now that I have that, I'm gonna turn it all the way down, and then I'm gonna play, you know, the original drums, and then I'm gonna slowly introduce this drum bus to the mix with the other drums. You'll hear it very subtly. Is that a word? Subtly? It doesn't sound right. I feel like certain words just don't sound right when you say them out loud. All right, so now you have certain transients that are really popping through, especially like those highs. The snares. And it's just gonna make things kind of pop a little bit more. I may not even turn it up this much, but it's something that you'll just feel that extra presence with that parallel compressed track. So that's with it. This is without it, with it, without it, with it. All right, so now I'll play it with all the other instruments and see what it sounds like. See if we have to make any adjustments. Sounds better. So now I'm going to disable everything I added to it, and then you guys will hear, you know, how much of a difference it really made. See that you don't really feel them like you were feeling them before. I'm gonna add them back in. Turn the snare down a little bit. So yeah. And that is how I beef my drums up. That's how I make my drums hit a little bit harder in my mixes. Those are just a couple techniques that I use. So hopefully they helped you. If they did, please be sure to leave a comment below. This video is brought to you by my Urban Mixing Made Simple course, where I break down through video and share my screen everything I do to create dope, solid mixes, get those 808s to balance with the kicks, how to create space in your mixes, and everything that I do to get really solid industry standard mixes on all of my tracks. So if you want more information on that, just click the link in the description, and also use the YouTube discount code that's down there so you can get a little discount. It's at a super duper low price right now, and I don't know how long I'm going to keep it that low, because I know the value that it brings when you learn how to mix your own tracks, your own beats, and you're able to turn around music even quicker because you're mixing everything yourself as well. So if you want that, hurry up, take advantage of it before the price goes up. And yeah, if you like the video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.